financial management course, right? So let me just begin by asking you what all you have done in financial management. Give me some responses. Yes. What are the different topics that you have been exposed to in financial management? Yes. Anybody from the class? Can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Sir, capital budget, capital structure, some sir, investment, financial decision, etc.
Very good.
Dividend.
Very good. Well, that is what I'm
Dividend
asking
theory.
you. Vidal?
So dividend theory.
Okay. Good. Good. Okay. That's also fine. Management of inventories. Good, Mama.
Capital budgeting.
Capital budgeting. Very good. Vidal. Good. So if you have to explain in a layman's term what is financial management and how are you going to tell it to other people? How would you explain that what is financial management without using any of the jargons, without using any of the terminology that you might have come across in your financial management paper? Yes.
So maybe it is the management of all the profits, loss, cash, credits, debts of a firm.
Good. Good. It's a management of profits, losses, debts. Good. What else?
So it's about planning, organizing, and controlling of financial organization.
Good. It's a planning, organizing, and controlling the financial function of the of any organization. That's good. So basically, if I have to put it in very, very basic terms, financial management is all about managing the money, right? One is going to be the sources of funds from where you are going to get the money or from where you are going to arrange the money. So that will be the sources of funds. And the other is the utilization of funds, isn't it? And obviously the record keeping part that would be taken care of by the accounting function, right? So on one hand, you have the management of debt, you have the management of equity, you have different financial institutions, you have the capital markets, where you will be arranging the funds, while on the other hand you have the different requirements of an organization where you need to divert those funds or channelize those funds so that they can be gainfully utilized, and you ensure that they are not being wasted, they're not lying idle, right? So in a layman's term, financial management is a management of money and how to make more money out of it. As very rightly said by Nidal, one of the functions, one of the basic area is capital budgeting. Can anybody elaborate upon that? What exactly is capital budgeting? Or for that matter, Umama talked about inventory management. So, how capital budgeting, you know, becomes a major function of financial management? In what sense? Yes, कैपिटल बजटिंग क्या है? Is there any simpler term for capital budgeting?
So management of investments.
Good. Okay, fine. Management of investments. Or more appropriately, we can say project appraisal, right? Management of long term investments, long term commitment of funds in some projects, right? Maybe you have a new plant coming up, you want to set up a new factory. So, from where you are going to arrange the funds and how those funds will be recovered, what will be the payback period, how quickly you are able to recover those funds, how quickly you are able to reach the break even and subsequently move into the zone of profit. So there are different approaches for appraising the projects. There are different. Can anybody tell me some of the approaches, some of the techniques which are used in project appraisal? Can you recall some of those techniques? Do you remember the net present value approach?
Sir, NPV, IRR.
Yes, internal rate of return, net present value, payback period, and there are many more approaches. Obviously, the basic idea is that when you are putting money into a project, so obviously you are doing it now. So the cash outflow is almost immediate, while the cash inflows occur or they take place over a period of time. So you just have to equate them. You just have to see that how early or how quickly you are able to reach when you are able to recover all the funds that have been invested and how quickly you can make profits from your venture. Similarly, the other important area is the working capital management. Can anybody tell me some basic idea about working capital management? Yes,
Efficient working of an organization.
not really. You can say efficient management of funds. I mean, the money which you require for the day-to-day functioning of an organization. That is what your capital, I mean, your working capital is. जो पैसे आप अपने wallet में रखते हैं, the money that you keep in your wallet is your working capital. The money which you have put in the bank account is obviously, you can, with the help of your credit cards and all, it is a liquid money. But generally what happens is that in order to meet your day-to-day expenses. Every morning you check your wallet and you see that how much money is there, what are my expected expenses. You don't want to keep anything extra, right? That's what happens, that you are keeping money for as a kind of, as a kind of a precaution. I mean, you don't know what kind of expenses you might come across. Some of the expenses are known. You know that maybe today I'll go to the department, and after the department I'll go with my friends, have some breakfast or some kind of snacks and tea. So for that you always keep some money, but some additional money is also kept in your wallet in order to ensure in case of any unforeseen event, right? And the rest of the money is there in the bank, which you can obviously withdraw using the ATM. Obviously, it has its limits. Similarly, for organizations, there are day to day transactions, and that is what is called as the transaction motive. So, for meeting those transactions, some money is always kept liquid or handy. Then you also have precautionary motives, obviously, as a caution in case of any unforeseen or in case of any emergency. You might need money. So, for that, also, you keep some money as a precaution. That is what is called as a precautionary motive. And then you also have some money for what you call as investments, for speculation. Maybe you come across some opportunity wherein you can make some quick gain, some quick profits. So for such speculative motives also you need some money. So it is basically the difference between the net assets, the net current assets, the current assets versus and the current liabilities. So that is what your working capital is, right? You are just trying, you have certain assets and you have certain liabilities. So you must have those assets in order to cover up the payments against those liabilities. Okay. And then Razin was talking about investments. Even the inventory management is a part of the working capital management. So you might be, I think by this time, some of you might already be thinking that why we are talking about financial management. This elective is about international financial management. So why are we trying to discuss some of these basics about financial management? Rather, we should have been discussing international financial management. Yes, any guesses?
So because these are some basic terminologies which are used in every field of financial management.
Good, very good. So terminologies are going to be the same whether we talk about financial management or international financial management. Now let me ask you, what makes international financial management different from the general financial management, or if I say domestic financial management, what difference is it going to make? Because if there is no difference, then obviously there is no fun in redoing the same concepts again and again, right? But if there is difference, then it makes sense to study a paper like international financial management. Yes.
Sir, foreign currency and foreign rules,
Okay,
regulation,
very good.
and sir, political risk, etc.
Good. So very nicely put up by Rafid Mehmood that when we, you know, talk about international financial management, it is about an expanded opportunity set, just like international business. You have a large number of currencies to deal with, different countries with different kind of regulatory framework, and at the same time a very important aspect is the political risk. Different countries have different types of political structures, different types of governments. So how does it, affect the business, the different currencies, different rules and regulations, and the political risk? In what ways the finance function is going to be hit? Just think it for a while. I'll be back. Okay. Yes.
Sir, in terms of taxation, different government have different taxation policy,
Very good.
and some country also allow free trade.
Okay. Okay. What else? That is one aspect, taxation part. That's good. That's a part of the regulatory environment, the regulatory framework, and it will have its implications on the corporate taxes. It will have its implications on how you maintain your books of accounts. So obviously there's a completely separate topic, as I would say, that is about maintaining the books of accounts. That is called as a translation exposure, management of translation exposure. So that is a point which is well taken. What else? What about the different currencies
The
which are
currency
there?
exchange procedures.
Yes.
Currency exchange.
Okay, good. So the different exchange rates prevalent globally, what is recently happening. I had shared with you, um, you know, a piece of news about the falling Turkish lira, how the Turkish currency is, kind of having a free fall, right? So the different currencies, some are weak, some of them are strong. There are different arrangements. You have currency unions, you have a European Union, you have different, currency boards, currency arrangements. So, what exactly is it all about? How the foreign exchange market operates, and how the exchange rates between different currencies are, kind of maintained. Yes. So one type of risk is, as very appropriately mentioned by Rafid, is the political risk, or you may also call it as a country risk. In what ways the country risk can affect or influence the fortunes you know, of an organization which is having its subsidiaries globally or in different nations, in different countries. Yes, Rafid, how could the
Sir,
political risk affect? Yes,
sir, violent civil war,
okay, okay,
terrorism, etc.
okay. That is just one small dimension. Some wars or terrorism. That is obviously nobody would want to put their money into the countries which are having a war-like situation, or which are, kind of high on terrorism, right? But even otherwise, whenever different governments they change guards, different governments have different kind of ideologies. Some of them are in the favor of multinational corporations, while some of them are, kind of, I mean, there's a term called as xenophobia. They have some kind of, a fear for the foreigners. So that is also there. So there could be situations when one government has spread the red carpet for the multinational corporations, while the next government, or the government that took over subsequently, it asked the multinational corporations to wind up and leave. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Right. So such kind of situations can also be, kind of can create difficulties for the multinational corporations. And then obviously different types of policies, which could be, which could, either make the life of the MNCs easy, or can make the life of the MNCs a bit difficult in different countries. So on one hand, we have the currencies which are fluctuating, which are volatile, managing your operations in different countries and doing the same functions, the same financial function using different currencies, and then consolidating your books of accounts, translating the accounts from one currency into the home currency. All these things make international financial management a bit, I would say, challenging, right? It becomes a bit more cumbersome. You have to have some kind of an acumen for understanding the world economics, or what you call as international economics, international polity, the political relations, and at the same time, the international laws related to accounting. And that's why all these functions, whether the capital budgeting, whether the working capital management, whether investments, all these things become slightly more challenging, because you not only have to understand the basics of these financial functions, but at the same time, you need to you know, see them or appreciate them, the international context. So I'm sure as we progress with this course, as we move ahead with this course, I've already shared with you uh, the presentations for the first uh, about what is international financial management, and then subsequently already discussed with you the shared the presentation about the I'll end today's session here with